If you're a white liberal leftist or consider yourself to be a white ally, I have a challenge for you. Don't create any more content on TikTok until September 22nd. And honestly, you deserve a break because every day is a white person day and y'all must be exhausted. So while you sit back, listen, learn, and truly decenter yourself, Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, we got it from here. Please, though, continue to like, comment, and share our content because y'all are always talking about how you want to support us and create equity. But the truth that so many of y'all are unwilling to accept is that you do not want Black, Indigenous, and other people of color to lead and pave the way, because what would we do without your perspective, your voice, your commentary, your education? We would thrive.
I just want to personally take the moment to congratulate myself because everything in this TikTok is 100% gold. Why? Because it proves the point that I made a year ago about Black content creators and how some of them are downright garbage. How some of them have no creative bone in their body. How some of them, when they don't get the expectation that they believe that they deserve, they seemingly want to blame white people. It's to the point where now, a year later, you got Asian women saying, hey, it's a great idea for some white people to take a break off TikTok for 2 months in order to boost and promote all the Black, Indigenous persons of color. Because guess what? White people are afraid of all these individuals who are Black, marginalized, Indigenous, person of color, weak-minded, and all these things because they're afraid of us and how we're able to lead. Do you not understand for one core second that if you're somebody who's Black, Indigenous, person of color, marginalized, weak-minded, all these things, if you need somebody else who's more popular than you, who has more followers than you, who has more engagement than you, to take a break for about 2 months, that speaks more about your content and not theirs. It speaks to the level of how bad you are at making TikToks, YouTube videos, Instagram reels, tweets, Snapchats, all these things. It proves you not really putting forth an engaging piece of content that people want to see more of. And let's not sit here and pretend that, oh, it's all these Black, Indigenous, POCs that are not getting that leg up. You got some entertaining Black people on all these platforms. You're looking at the sexiest of them all. And you're going to sit here and try to lump everybody together in this weird weak set where everybody got to just wait on a bunch of white people to take a break. I'm sorry, but for me, and I'm only speaking for me in this instance, if I'm in a room of 100 people, matter of fact, screw that. I'm literally on a website full of millions of people, some of whom make the exact same videos as I do. It is my job as the sexiest Black YouTuber to come on here and mystify you lovable bastards with all my sexiness and beat out everybody else. Yes, it can be cordial. Yes, it could be friendly competition. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to make sure that people see me and stick with me. You realize I got 195,000 subscribers, not just because I'm the sexiest Black YouTuber to ever exist, but because I come on here, I'm unapologetically me, I'm entertaining, and oh, by the way, I don't sit here and bitch and moan about white people when my success isn't what I want. I'm almost at 200,000 subscribers, and I'm only thankful for that because, Jesus, a lot of people didn't have to look at this and say, I like that guy, he's very sexy, I jerk off to him, he's very entertaining. A lot of people could have just said, he swears too much, I'm not gonna condone any of this, and I would have sat here and just took it and kept going. You understand that I've had content that has just been recorded on my phone. I had to pay $700 for this camera that's recording me right now. I had to pay $700 for this microphone, this stand, this audio interface, and a new audio interface that makes me sound crisp and fine because I wanted to get better. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand. And no, it's not just the Black, Indigenous people of color. It's the men, the women, the whites, the Blacks, the Asians, the Chinese, the Japanese, everybody. When it comes to content, there's this weird idea that you can't take any form of criticism, that you seemingly have to sit there and think, oh, well, a bunch of my own friends like it, so everybody else is going to like it. No, you have to understand where you suck at, dummy. And if you don't realize that, you're going to keep producing producing the same mundane, bland, boring, vanilla-ized content and never improve and never get more following. Why? Because you're not improving on what needs to be improved on. And what I find funny about this Asian woman in particular is when she gets called out, she seemingly has these ideas, which in her mind, and based on what she said, has been approved by 2, maybe even more black people in her own friend group. But when it comes to the rest of the world, that really doesn't hold strong because the rest of the world isn't your diverse friend group.
We don't need to hear why you're not participating in the 10K summer break.
Made aware that she has made a request like this.
Yes, that is correct. It was a request, a challenge, not a demand, and no one is forcing anyone to do anything.
Well as her condescending video replies to anyone who pushes back against her.
Those were not condescending responses. That was me processing information, understanding intersectionality.
And I will not be participating in this request.
Thank you for centering yourself with your announcement. And honestly, myself and other Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, we won't notice.
Tori Bay has made a bad faith request.
Here we go.
1, she arbitrarily made it on her own to represent an entire group of people that she was not talking to.
This is a really big assumption. I'm curious as to how you know. Originally, I sent this initial idea, to 2 Black men, and I wholeheartedly believe that I surround myself with a very diverse group of folks. And if I were to ever post anything in bad faith, they would let me know and I would take it down immediately. But that wasn't the case. They all supported it.
2, she did not consider any intersectionalities when making this request.
I'm a disabled, queer, Asian American adoptee. I believe that I have a pretty good understanding of what intersectionality is. And one of the very first people to support this challenge was a queer, neurodivergent Black woman.
3, when she made this request, she moralized applying this behavior as proving yourself as being a good ally.
Again, everyone has freedom of choice. White allies like yourself, you choose to continually center yourself and believe that we need you. I am very intentional about the words that I use on this app, and nowhere did I ever say good. Nor did I create a dichotomy of good versus bad allyship. Did I create a dichotomy of good versus bad allyship? Did I create a dichotomy of good versus bad allyship?
And I will not be participating in this request.
Thank you for centering yourself with your announcement. And honestly, myself and other Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, we won't notice. White allies like yourself, you choose to continually center yourself and believe that we need you. So you're telling me that if I'm a white content creator and I have over 10,000 followers, you're asking me to take a break for the summer to not create any more content? Yeah, I mean, pretty easy, right? You can still engage with our content on the app, and better yet, your channel does not have to stay inactive. How would it not stay inactive if I'm not allowed to post? Pretty easy. You can ask several Black, Indigenous, and other people of color to take over your account during the next 2 months. But what if my followers don't like that? I mean, they're used to me. Then I guess you're probably not the anti-racist and ally that you think you are, and you should maybe evaluate the type of community that you're building. Did I create a dichotomy of good versus bad allyship? Then I guess you're probably not the anti-racist and ally that you think you are, and you should maybe evaluate the type of community that you're building. So I will always take full responsibility of my words and actions, but I am not responsible for the way that white people interpret my words.
4, if she had listened to any other group of people, including any other intersectionalities, she would have mitigated what she requested in a way that would have made it a good faith request. a group of us have decided that we want to boost BIPOC voices for the summer. So what we want to see is we are asking you all to go ahead and feature a BIPOC creator or duet a BIPOC video or stitch something by a BIPOC individual that centers them for the rest of the summer every single day. We want to challenge you to that. And that would have been the good faith request.
So the main difference between your statement and mine was that yours was easier to digest for you and white people. Chris goes on to speak about privilege, and the day that I take advice on privilege from a white person is the day that I will leave this app.
And it's weird how you think, oh, white people, you could just produce black people on your channel while you're taking a break. Oh, but what if they leave? Well, that's not really anti-racism and you need to reevaluate yourself, which literally goes against her making the claim that she didn't set up a dichotomy when she set up a dichotomy. It is weird how far and how many hoops one wants to go through to try to get black people up and famous in all these different avenues when you could just show them the way. You could show them how to improve. You could show them how to improve what they want to produce instead of just trying to handhold them and say, oh, white people, it would be great if you take part in our challenge where you take a break so that we could elevate some black content creators. How about you get these black content creators better equipment, better engagement, overall better things to improve upon them so that they don't have to sit there and bitch about white people and how they're not successful. In a world where a bunch of marginalized people want to group everybody together and say that we all suck and we all have to suffer because of white people, I wonder if I could show an example of someone who has took the time to at first complain about things and then decide to make their own style of that thing because they're tired of the same mundane, boring, bland types of content that that main thing produces. Class, do you know anybody of that stature? I do, but I want to know if any of you know. You don't? Oh, well, it's okay. The doctor, professor, philanthropist, gynecologist, McDonald's protester, onion ring connoisseur, and dildo expertise has the answer for you. This big bearded bastard right here, somebody who hates Marvel and DC and all the things that they produce, and they said, fuck it, I'm gonna take money out my own pocket, I'm gonna put it towards my own comic book business, and guess what? The motherfucker made $1 million in a day, and guess what? I know it's the most important part for some of you losers that just make fan art all day and bitch about how nobody wants to see you rendition a Japanese character and turn him black. He's black? Whoa, what a concept! A successful black man in the year 2022. Oh my stars. I'm mad. There's two things I want to just get off before I wrap this video up. Number one, if you are somebody, and I don't care what skin color, sexuality, or thing you choose to be, if you want to be a content creator, whether if it's YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, any other of these apps, MySpace, OnlyFans, you're going to have to deal with this one thing that's going to come up from time to time. And it's called criticism. And if you can't handle that, and if you're just going to say everybody's hating on you, or if you're just going to say, oh, you don't want to see a black person shine, or you don't want to see women shine, or you don't want to see a person of color shine, you are quite possibly one of the most boring human beings who seems to be too egotistical to realize that they suck at something. Number two, if you're going to start anything of a business like content creation, or even selling a bunch of shirts, or selling a bunch of dildos, don't just rely on your friends and family to spread the good word. Go to the strangers. Produce this content to the strangers. I have 0 friends that watch my YouTube channel. I have 0 friends that watch my Twitch channel. This is strictly me promoting this to a bunch of strangers, hoping that they see it, hoping that they enjoy it, and hoping that they press the red subscribe button. I really have no other avenue to promote this, and I am incredibly thankful for the fact that I'm 5,000 away from 200,000 people that have clicked that red button. Extremely. I'm never gonna sit here and be like, oh, a bunch of people don't like me? Oh, well, I guess they're all just hating on the black guy. Maybe I said something they didn't like. Maybe I have an opinion they don't like. And maybe we could talk it out. 9 times out of 10, that's probably not going to happen because in their eyes, I'm just a racist bigot who hates black women and wants to see everybody suffer except the whites because they have a real lack of understanding about how I think and how I go about thinking. But besides the point, you need to be able to understand. You have to be willing to adapt and evolve. If you're going to sit there and have the same mundane style, if you're going to sit there and bitch about how the whites have more content than you and then they're better than you while you're just sitting there making makeup makeup tutorials and video game content where there's dead silence for about 30 seconds and then you decide to talk, you're not going to get the audience you want at the pace you want. I understand. Million subscribers in a day. You want to be just as successful as all the top dogs. They put in the work. They network. They did everything possible so that they could be at the top. Yes, the white ones and the black ones. So what are you going to do? Are you going to step it up and improve all your content? Or are you just going to sit there and bitch and moan and expect everybody to handhold you for the rest of your life? I know the answer. I'm just willing to change your answer. So with that all being said, if you're going to continue that loser mindset, enjoy being at the bottom. Enjoy having it take you 4 to 10 years for you to be successful as a content creator.
On YouTube is it would take years. I'm talking 4 to 10 years usually.
What?
For a black YouTuber to blow up on YouTube.
Incorrect! I'll give you an example. Me! It did not take me 4 to 10 years to blow up! Motherfucker, I grew 30,000 in a month! Fuck are you talking about 4 to 10 years? 4 to 10 years for a black YouTuber. I'll give you another example. Kelly motherfucking Stamps blew up within a matter of 4 months. I'll give you another example. The same chick I talked about in my video, the girl who makes videos in a van, blew up within weeks. Hit 1 million subscribers within weeks. 4 to 10 years? Are you serious? Is that how you want that? Really? Let's keep going because there's more audio.
For their channel to get recognition that it deserves. Whereas a white YouTuber, maybe takes 6 months to a year, and boom, their channel is popping.
Incorrect. Like, what fucking statistic is this? Where are your analytics to prove this? Where's this? This is the bullshit y'all need to be saying is hearsay. There's no evidence of this. But the motherfucker who doesn't play victim is the bad guy. He doesn't go around saying, oh my god, white people, they're ruining my chances of success. But y'all buy this bullshit? How is it that me saying, yeah, your content sucks, it's not a white person's fault, get better and make this dream a fucking reality? How is that bad? How do I have to show evidence of that? But magically, anybody could say, yeah, it takes 4 to 10 years for a black YouTuber to get success, and everybody's cool with it. Huh? Where you get it from? Huh? Who there? How there? Why there? Where did that come from?
In the meantime, the rest of us, we're going to thrive, we're going to improve, because we don't need people to take a break for us. We just going to surpass them because we're that fucking good. Subscribe to the channel. See y'all in the next one. Goodbye.